We must remember that corruption is not inevitable. It is a choice to prioritize personal gains over public good.
Thank you.
Keep watching Magical G.
The national anthem, please. Thank you very much.
To this, there should also be a reverse onus clause of a presumption of corruption tied to lifestyle audit. That is to say, in all proceedings, civil and criminal, there should be a presumption of corruption. One, where a person, whether in public or private life, is in possession of property or resources for which he cannot satisfactorily account for, or pecuniary resources and property disproportionate to his known legitimate sources of income, should be deemed to have been obtained or received through corrupt means. And two, a gift to a public officer by a person who has or seeks to have any dealings with the government or public agency should be deemed to have been given and received corruptly as an inducement or reward. Further, there should be a more robust and effective asset declaration mechanism in respect of public officers and persons undergoing lifestyle audit to close the loop on the amassing of illicit wealth and to enhance accountability. We should move beyond mere repositories to a system of verification and tracing undeclared assets. However, and I'm coming to disappoint some of you, I do not, and I will not add my voice to calls for the publication of assets for public scrutiny. In our experience, it would be unhelpful and would merely subject public officers to inordinate public curiosity and the specter of the real likelihood of reprisals against the assets. In my estimation, a publication of who has declared or has not declared his assets in the context of a workable asset verification and tracing model would be sufficient to assure the integrity of the assets declaration system. On another score, I dare say corruption begins where values collapse. That is why integrity must be designed into our educational system, from the basic level through to the tertiary level. And I'm looking at students. A student who regards a corrupt businessman as his or her role model would invariably emulate him without remorse. Do not do so. Narrative and fashion our own course and course by keeping the glimmer on the horizon glowing until the light beckons closer and shines overhead in a just and prosperous trajectory. Let me try and add my own version to the old Negro spiritual I alluded to when I began. Remember I said it goes, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, sometimes it's down to the ground. I want to re-sing it. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, and even when it's down, we shall keep the lights up. Thank you.
Thank you. He was just telling me I'm on the wanted list. I also want you to know that I have a team of lawyers. I'm sure Samson is ever ready to join the team, yes. Oliver, are you joining my team or no more arrests? My Honorable Regional Minister is also here. He's my #1 lawyer. Honorable Charles Luanga Pozui, please give us a wave. Justice, do I have the honor of having you join my legal team? Thank you. Now, in continuation, I have the special privilege to invite our special guest of honor today to give us her remarks. She comes to this event with the full weight of her office, a woman with a proven track record of principled leadership, public integrity, and unwavering commitment to national development in an era where trust in public institutions has gotten very shaky. Her presence here today affirms that the fight against corruption is not just a bureaucratic duty, it is a leadership and government priority. Her Excellency, and I like to call her the First, has been a firm advocate for accountability, transparency, and institutional reform, and continues to inspire future generations anchored on integrity and justice. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join me in warmly welcoming the first woman Vice President of the Republic of Ghana to deliver her remarks.
Please resume your seats. Good morning, everyone. Please allow me to refer to the protocol established and to welcome everybody here. Consider yourselves very, very special. You know you are already. And at the same time, to especially welcome our relatives from outside our artificial borders, and to wish our Muslim relatives a very happy Eid. Revitalizing the anti-corruption architecture, very important theme. We know that Ghana has long positioned herself as a pioneer in our continent's anti-corruption efforts. We were among the first of the nations to ratify the AU Convention on Preventing and Combating Corruption in 2007. And we demonstrated our early commitment to continental standards by submitting the first baseline report to the AU ABC. Our anti-corruption architecture is built on solid foundations. We have the 1992 Constitution and comprehensive legislation, including the Criminal Offences Act, Whistleblowers Act of 2006, the Right to Information Act of 2019, and the establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor in 2017. Our engagement with the AU-ABC review process exemplifies our commitment to continental accountability standards. which we take very, very seriously. And our commitment to this inclusive approach is evident in our support for investigative journalism, civil society advocacy, and the creation of platforms for citizen engagement in anti-corruption efforts. We need to confront the hard truths. However, despite our strong institutional framework, Ghana's performance on key corruption indicators has stagnated and in some cases declined. This is according to the data from the 2024 Corruption Perception Index, the Ibrahim Index of African Governance, and our own 2022 Ghana Statistical Service Corruption Report, which revealed that nearly 5 billion Ghana cedis was lost to bribery alone in 1 year. This cannot be funny. The IMF's assessment that our control of corruption has deteriorated over the last decade, despite outperforming many sub-Saharan peers in other governance aspects, underscores the urgency of our revitalization efforts. And this is where leadership comes in. Let us consider the commitment of the Mahama administration. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has demonstrated his commitment to revitalizing Ghana's anti-corruption architecture. Operation Recover All Loot, or ORAL, is an effort to send a clear message that corruption will not be tolerated. The launch of a comprehensive code of conduct for all presidential appointees establishes clear ethical standards from the highest levels of government. His commitment to reviewing the 1992 Constitution to make it fit for purpose to meet our current governance challenges is yet another demonstration of the President's commitment to fight against corruption. The appointment of a presidential advisor on the National Anti-Corruption Program, the first of its kind since 1992, represents a strategic approach to coordinating our efforts. This office has identified 5 key areas that will anchor our revitalization efforts, including cooperating between anti-corruption agencies, partnerships with the state interests and governance authority to ensure integrity, provide assurance of domestic and international communities, proposing legislative and policy reforms, and supporting the Attorney General's office in receiving and processing corruption complaints. So what is the path forward? Revitalizing Ghana's anti-corruption architecture requires bold actions across multiple fronts. We must legislate and revitalize unexplained world orders, extending the application to both public officials and private citizens, while anchoring the principle of reverse burden of proof in our Constitution. The revised conduct of public officers bill will onboard the views of CSOs, anti-corruption institutions, the media, academia, the international community, and all relevant stakeholders to ensure that this bill stands the test of time. The bill will be open to a comprehensive engagement by all stakeholders, and its content and passage will once again demonstrate our commitment to accountability and the fight against corruption. Definitely, you talked about the asset declaration, and I agree with the major points you have made. We must ensure also that we have sustainable financing for anti-corruption institutions to reduce their influence and also to enhance their independence. The financing of political parties and national elections must be regulated through comprehensive legislation that addresses both internal party leadership selection and national campaign funding. We need to engage our citizens. No anti-corruption architecture can succeed without active citizen engagement. Civil society organizations, investigative journalists, and ordinary citizens will be the partners in this fight. The Right to Information Act has empowered citizens to demand transparency, but we must do more to educate all of us about our rights and provide accessible channels for reporting corruption. And youth engagement, where are the youth? Are they here? Your voices are too low. I'm happy to see you here. Your engagement is particularly crucial. Young Africans represent our continent's greatest asset. You are the asset. Your digital nativity offers opportunities to leverage technology for transparency and accountability. We must create platforms for meaningful youth participation in anti-corruption efforts, recognizing that you will inherit the systems we build today. I believe you've heard me. Thank you. The economic case for fighting corruption has never been clearer. As Africa requires, so looking ahead, as we revitalize our anti-corruption architecture, Ghana has the opportunity to reclaim its position as a continental leader in accountability reforms. Our early participation in the AU-ABC review process, combined with our democratic traditions, vibrant civil society, and institutional foundations, provides a strong platform for this leadership. However, leadership requires not just intentions, but measurable results. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to conclude. The theme of revitalizing Africa's anti-corruption architecture acknowledges our achievements and shortcomings. It recognizes that building integrity systems is not a destination, but a continuous journey requiring constant renewal and adaptation. We must remember that corruption is not inevitable. It is a choice to prioritize personal gains over public good, short-term benefits over long-term development, and narrow interests over national progress. Equally, the fight against corruption is a choice to demand better from our leaders and from ourselves, and to build the Africa our children deserve. Let us recommit ourselves to this fight, to revitalize our institutions, strengthen our laws, empower our citizens, and work together across borders. And I like the across borders, because we know that our borders are artificial, and we need to work together. We need to work across borders to build an Africa that is truly prosperous and peaceful, driven by its own citizens, and guided by the principles of integrity, transparency, and accountability. This is a journey we must continue. We know that together we will succeed. I want to thank you for your kind attention.
And I apologize, but I'm going to have to bring you forward in a few minutes for some photographs. And we will have our ministers join here for some photographs, and then the AU-ABC team, and AUABC team, please get ready. Please join them.